blowing simple, liberal minds with every idea. Critical thinking is his specialty. Dillon Atkins.
3, 2, 1.
Hello again, this is Dillon. Thank you for listening to the show again. You can always get a hold of me at dillonforamerica@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. And then we have a question to ask, to answer today. And it's a big deal to me. And I'll tell you why. Because to me, we have been charged as people, as the population of this country, as citizens, we have been charged with making sure that our country stays around for our kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids, and on and on and on. That is something that every single generation has. That is a duty that we all have. And to me, we're not doing so good. A big number, I think it's 80 congressmen, can't even qualify for a credit card because their credit's too bad. I think it's 30 of them have had 2 or more companies go bankrupt under their control. And I think it's 60 or something like that. I'm not too sure of these numbers. But I'm close, but not exact. But another 60 of them or so are in the middle of a lawsuit against them for multiple different reasons. Not lawsuits altogether, but like, so-and-so has a lawsuit because of whatever. This guy has a lawsuit because of whatever. But anyway. Are these the kind of people we send to lead this country? To me, there's 2 ways. There is that is the kind of person we send, and if that is the kind of person we send, then we really need to take a look at our voting criteria, what it is we look at when we vote for somebody. And B, the second reason may be they change when they get there. And we've seen people change when they get there. At least I have. And the thing is, what is it that makes them change? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know why they say one thing, and then they get there for about a year or 2, and then they completely change what it is that they said. Well, I never really said that. Yeah, well, you kind of did. I don't understand, but let me tell you one thing. It is time to put people in positions of power that actually know what they're doing. To me, it's too big of an issue to have just send whoever up there. Way too big of an issue. It is time that we actually put an effort into voting. Did you know that 50% of evangelical Christians don't even vote? Yeah, that's smart. And yet, you know what? The people who, I've said it before, the people who complain the most about what's happening are the very people who don't vote for the most part. And I don't understand. To me, I can see it very plainly. This is our country. This is our freedom, our liberty. The people who have died in the past for what you have, it is your job to make sure that they did not die in vain. Their work was not done in vain. And that their work and their hard work and their sacrifices are around for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids, and down the line, that is preserved for them to enjoy as well. Do you agree with that or not? I particularly think that way. And to me, it's not a well, today's voting day, I'll get down there at some point, I guess. Well, you know what, I'd really, let's go out to dinner. I'd rather do that, or no, I'd rather watch football. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's real smart. How about this? How about you get out and actually vote? Because if you don't one way, your beloved, if you don't get out there and vote, for one thing, your beloved football won't be there. Do you understand that the Democratic Party, and yes, it is the Democratic Party, is trying to actually outlaw the NFL, football, because it's too, quote-unquote, harsh. So if you don't get out there and vote, then guess what? you won't have football to watch except for reruns. And also, 50% of the evangelical Christians out there who don't vote, who don't take part in politics. Do you want to be able to worship freely? When you go to church on a Sunday morning, when you go to Mass on a Sunday morning, and you don't think anything of it, you just go because that's just what you do. You go and you worship God, and you have fun, you see your friends, you sing some songs, you listen to the preacher, you have some lunch, you go home and take a nap. You go on Wednesday nights too, maybe, I don't know. But you go and you don't think anything of it. You'll think something of it when you get arrested for it. That is what they're trying to do. Vote! Make a difference. We've seen politics completely ruin a lot of things. Because one party gets ticked off at another party, they start fighting over something, then guess what? Your freedoms disappear because they're trying to get their personal idea through. That isn't their job. Their job is to do what you and me tell them to do. Wars are are another one of those things. Wars make a lot of money for a lot of people at the expense of life. Of young people's lives. We've been in a war for 13 years, and hadn't stopped. No signs of stopping at all. Obama has said that he wants to pull people out, but he just sent over more. War sometimes is necessary. Sadly, war sometimes is necessary. We wouldn't be America if we didn't have to fight some wars to get to where we are. What's the saying? You can't have an omelet without cracking a few eggs. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we have to make those decisions to actually do these things. But I think the number one goal in war is to make sure that our interests, our soldiers, our people, American citizens, get in and out as fast and safe as possible. You make the war as fast and safe for us as possible, with as little collateral damage as possible. We have to find a way to do that. This war that we've had for so long now in Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, all those places, Pakistan, it's a different kind of war because we can't. There's no defined enemy. There is in terms of who they are, but they look the same as everybody else. When you're on a base over there are Taliban on the base. There are the enemy on the base, working as cooks or as police officers. It's incredible. You can't discern one from the other, which is one reason this war has taken so long. But there has to be a way. Either pull out, just try, do whatever it takes to make sure they don't come over here and try to fight, which I don't know. I don't know if any of this is possible, but there's got to be a way to stop the killing of our people. There haven't been a ton, but any is too much, to me anyway. But the leadership of the country, they don't see the battlefield. Congressmen, senators, presidents usually don't. They don't see the battlefields. They don't see the death. They see, are we winning or are we losing? They see the gain of ground or the loss of it. They see the gain of money or the loss of it. War is political. And it's a sad, sad thing, but it is. And it's time we stop with the political crap. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it, but it's complete crap because the leadership of this country, the wars we were in as a young country, as colonies, to define ourselves different from the rest of the world, different from our home country that we came from, to define ourselves. We didn't fight for money. We didn't fight and get money. We lost a lot, and we lost a lot of people. But we won. We fought strictly for freedom, for liberty, and for honor. When we fought in World War II, that made money for people. It brought us as a nation out of the Great Depression. But we fought for liberty, we fought for freedom, and we fought for honor. But now it seems as though that we've gotten into wars, and it's not even for freedom, liberty, or honor. To the soldiers it is. Because they know what they're doing is defending you and me. They know what they're doing is I hate to say it, but this is the only way I really know how to say it, but they know they're getting back at the people who killed 3,000 Americans on September 11th. And the people who killed the soldiers who were protecting the Americans, who were protecting you and me. But for the people sitting in an office in a suit, who go to meetings and go to breakfasts and lunches and they vote on things, they've forgotten that, I think, sadly. A lot of them have. Some of them haven't. Some of them still drive for the freedom. But a lot of them, they have forgotten that. They drive for power and they drive for money. Those are not the people we need to have there. We need to have people up there, people in your city government, state government, and the federal government that actually are fighting for your freedom. See, we have a military, I've said it before, we have a military that fights for us around the world. We need to have a government who fights for us here and around the world. And then we have us, you and me, who fight for us here. We are the foundation of what is here. We send people to Washington, to the city government, to the state government, to fight for what you and me believe in. Whether what you and me believe in may be different, you still vote for the people who believe what you believe so that they can make the decisions that you want them to make on your behalf. If you don't vote, if you don't have something to say, then you can't complain. And if if the country completely goes down the tubes, completely goes down the drain, then you can't say anything except I had a part in it. It's the same concept as if you're not for me, you're against me. In other words, if you are not fighting for this country, instead you stay silent, then therefore you fought against it. See, we give people the idea that when they go up to Washington, when they go to the state governments and even city governments to a good extent, we give them the impression that they are the boss of what we do. That is not how it's supposed to be. You are the boss of what they do. You are the boss of what the country does. Whether you believe politically the same thing I believe, I think we can all agree that we do not want to see America as a free nation, the country that takes in people from other nations legally. That's a whole nother show. Maybe I'll do that one next week on illegal immigration. We take in the people who don't like their home countries. We treat them as our own, but we let them have their old traditions, their old ways of life. That's how it was in World War II when people came over here from Italy and Europe, Germany, and things like that. They came over here, they brought their food, they brought their traditions, and now we take those in as our own as well. But we can't let them come over here illegally. But anyway, I'm getting on a rabbit trail here. But it is up to you and it's up to me to make sure that America stays free. It's up to us to make sure that we can still afford to bring those kind of people in. And if we say nothing, if we do nothing, then we're doing nothing to help those people. We're doing nothing to thank the people who worked hard to make this country what it is, the people who fought hard to keep the country what it is. We're doing nothing. We have to be involved. We have to help. We have to vote. We have to speak. We have to meet with people. That's what America is. It's letting people actually get involved instead of just being told what to do, and that's what it's turned into. We have to get back to the old way of thinking, that you and me actually can make a difference. We can. There's been places all around the country now during the primaries where things are getting turned upside down from what it's become. And it's time that we actually stick to that idea that we actually can have something to say about anything. It's time that we as Americans actually take pride in being Americans again and stand up and say that is wrong if something's wrong and applaud what is right. It's a moral thing, is it not? Can you not see that? Is it that hard? Is it that hard to say that freedom is right? Is it that difficult in your mind to make a decision between being right or wrong? Is it that hard to say that liberty is right? Is it that hard to say that humans are created and born with specific rights? Why are we trying to take those rights away? Can we not all agree that it is a human's right to defend themselves? Can we not all agree that America, the way it was founded, created the highest standard of living the world has ever known. Why are we trying to detract from that? Why are we trying to say that that was wrong? Why are we trying to say that the free market is wrong? Why are we trying to say that we can't let somebody, a mom and pop shop, actually do their work? Why can't we just let them do their work? Why do we have to tax them to death? Why can't we just say having a big debt is wrong? Because we're taking from our kids' futures. We're taking from their lives when they take over this country. Can we not all agree that America is actually worth fighting for? That freedom is worth fighting for. It's worth spreading around the world. Maybe countries won't take it, but at least we can try. All we want is freedom, liberty, and honor. Something that to me has been lost so much recently, and it's time we get it back. It's time we fight again. It's time we actually have a hand in what goes on in our nation. It's time that we actually have a say in what goes on. And that's not going to happen unless you and your friends and me and my friends and our families get involved. Whether you agree, again, with what I believe politically or not, that's not the point. The point is to maintain the right to have a say, even if you disagree with what I believe politically. I believe in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. I believe in what the Founding Fathers had in mind when they created this country. I believe in what we fought for as a nation in the Revolutionary War. I believe that all men are created equal, that we're all born with inalienable rights as human beings to determine how our lives go. Can we not all agree that that is something worth fighting for? If it is, and you believe it is, then whether you believe what I believe politically, whether you think that the guns should be allowed or not, whether you believe that illegal immigrants should be granted amnesty or not, to be an American is to have a say, is to vote, to meet with your leaders and tell them what you think, and remind them that you are the boss, not them. Can we not all agree that America is worth fighting for? Because I think it is. And either we get to fighting and actually create an idea and go forward with it, or we just need to give up now. I, for one, am not giving up. Pretty much everyone I know isn't giving up either, because we love America and the people who fought for her too much. And it's time that we all choose to fight or give in.